Hello friends, and welcome back. If you are over 60, if you received the state pension, if you are on any DWP benefit, or if you are simply trying to make sure your money goes as far as possible this year, then please pay close attention to what I am about to share with you. Because 2026 is bringing with it a number of important changes and updates across DWP benefits, state pension support, and other government help that affects millions of older people in the United Kingdom. And here is the honest truth. Many of the people who should be receiving this support are simply not getting it, not because they are not entitled, but because nobody has sat down and explained it to them clearly. That is exactly what I'm going to do today. In this video, I will walk you through 5 things that every person over 60 should be aware of right now. I will explain what support may be available, who may qualify, what mistakes to avoid, and most importantly, what one simple step you can take today that could genuinely improve your financial situation. Please stay until the end, because the final point I share is something that many pensioners completely overlook, and yet it can sometimes unlock support in more than one area of your life. Rules around DWP benefits, the state pension, HMRC, council support, and pensioner payments can change quickly. If you want clear updates explained in plain English, without the jargon and without the confusion, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. That way, you never miss an important update that could affect your income or your household. Right, let us get started. Point number 1, pension credit, and why so many people still are not claiming it. Pension credit is one of the most talked about benefits in the UK, and yet it remains one of the most underclaimed. Millions of pounds go uncollected every single year. And the reason is simple. A lot of people assume they will not qualify, so they never bother to check. Pension credit is designed to top up your income if you are over state pension age and your weekly income falls below a certain threshold. The exact figures are updated regularly, so you should always check the latest figures on gov.uk or contact DWP directly. But the point is this. Even if you have some savings, even if you own your home, even if you receive a small occupational pension, you may still qualify. Do not rule yourself out before you have checked. And here is what makes pension credit so important. It is not just a payment in itself. It can act as a passport to other support. People who successfully claim pension credit may also find themselves eligible for help with council tax, help with NHS costs, and in many cases, additional support through the winter months. One claim can sometimes open several doors at once. The action step here is straightforward. Go to gov.uk and search for the pension credit calculator. It takes a few minutes. It is free. And it could tell you something very important about money you may be entitled to. If you are not comfortable doing it online, call DWP or ask someone at your local Citizens Advice branch to help you. Do not assume you are not eligible. The sooner you check, the better. Point number 2. Attendance allowance, a payment that far too many people over 65 are missing. Attendance allowance is a benefit paid by DWP to people over state pension age who have a physical or mental disability or health condition that means they need help with personal care or supervision. And I want to be very clear about something here. You do not have to have a carer, you do not have to be living in a care home, and you do not need to spend the money on care. Attendance allowance is simply there to give you extra financial support because of the added difficulty your condition creates in daily life. It is not means tested. That means your savings and your income do not affect whether you can receive it. Many people miss this benefit because they feel they are coping, or they do not want to make a fuss, or they simply do not know it exists. But if you are over 65 and you have a long-term health condition that affects your daily life, even partly, then you owe it to yourself to at least find out if you qualify. There are 2 rates of attendance allowance depending on your level of need. You should check the current rates on gov.uk and speak to DWP or a benefits advisor to understand which rate may apply to you. The action step here is to get hold of the attendance allowance claim form, which you can download from gov.uk or request by phone from DWP. Take your time filling it in. Describe your worst days, not your best. Many people undersell their condition, and that can affect the outcome. If you need help completing the form, Age UK and Citizens Advice offer this support for free. Point number 3. Council tax reduction, a form of help that sits quietly in the background. Now please do not skip this next part, because this is where many pensioners lose money without realizing it. Council tax reduction, sometimes called council tax support, is managed by your local council rather than by DWP. That is one reason people miss it. It does not always come up in the same conversation as your other benefits. If you are on a low income, if you receive pension credit, or if you are in certain other circumstances, you may be entitled to a significant reduction in your council tax bill. In some cases, the reduction can be quite substantial, depending on where you live and your individual situation. Each council runs its own scheme, so the rules and amounts do vary. The mistake many people make is assuming their council tax is simply fixed, and there is nothing they can do about it. That is not always true. And the other mistake is failing to reapply or notify the council when their circumstances change. If your income drops, if you start receiving a new benefit, or if someone moves out of your home, your entitlement could change, and you should let your council know. The action step here is to contact your local council directly and ask whether you qualify for council tax reduction. You can usually do this online through your council's website or by phone. If you are already receiving pension credit, make sure your council is aware, because this can sometimes help your application. Now, the next point is one that many people miss, because it does not always pay you directly at first, but it can unlock support in other areas, and it is something every person over 60 with caring responsibilities should know about. Point number 4. Carer's allowance, and the connection most people do not make. If you are over 60 and you regularly look after a family member, a friend, or a neighbor who has a disability or long-term health condition, you may be entitled to carer's allowance. This is a weekly payment from DWP for people who provide a significant amount of unpaid care. There are eligibility conditions. The person you care for generally needs to be receiving a qualifying disability benefit, such as attendance allowance or certain rates of personal independence payment. And you would need to be providing care for a certain number of hours per week. The exact rules are on gov.uk, and you should check whether your situation meets the current criteria. One thing to be aware of is that if you are already receiving the state pension, there are rules around how carer's allowance interacts with that. You may not receive both in full at the same time, but even if you cannot receive carer's allowance as a payment, you may still be able to receive what is called a carer's element through pension credit. This can still add to your overall household income. Many older carers simply do not think of themselves as carers. They are just doing what needs to be done for someone they love. But the system does recognize that work, and there may be financial support available to you because of it. The action step here is to check the current carer's allowance eligibility on gov.uk. If you are unsure whether you qualify, speak to a benefits advisor or contact Carers UK, who offer free support and guidance. Point number 5. Your national insurance record and the state pension gaps that could be costing you money. This final point is one that anyone over 60 who has not yet reached state pension age should take seriously. And even some people who are already retired may want to pay attention. Your state pension amount is based on your national insurance record. You generally need a certain number of qualifying years to receive the full new state pension. And if you have gaps in your record, you may be receiving less than you are entitled to. In some circumstances, you may be able to pay voluntary national insurance contributions to fill those gaps, which could increase your state pension income for the rest of your life. HMRC and DWP have been running a process that allows people to check their records and, in some cases, pay to fill gaps going back a number of years. The rules around this and the deadlines involved can change, So this is something you need to check on gov.uk as soon as possible and not leave until later. You can check your national insurance record through your personal tax account on gov.uk. It is free to set up and gives you a clear view of where your record stands. The action step here is to log in or set up your personal tax account on gov.uk today. Check your national insurance record. If you see gaps and you are approaching state pension age, contact the Future Pension Centre or speak to a financial advisor about whether it makes sense to fill them. This is not about spending money unnecessarily. It is about making sure you receive every penny of state pension that your working years have earned you. So here is the full picture of what we have covered today. First, pension credit. Check if you qualify. It can also unlock other support. Do not assume you are not eligible. Second, attendance allowance. If you are over 65 with a long-term health condition, check whether you qualify. Your savings and income do not affect this one. Third, council tax reduction. Contact your local council and ask. Rules vary by area, but many pensioners are entitled to help they are not receiving. Fourth, carer's allowance and the carer's element. If you care for someone, check what support may be available to you. You may qualify for more than you realize. Fifth, your national insurance record. Check it through your personal tax account. Look for gaps and find out whether filling them could increase your state pension. And here is the most important thing to take away from this video. These 5 areas are connected. Pension credit can help with council tax. Attendance allowance for the person you care for can support a carer's allowance claim. A higher state pension can affect other income-related calculations. One successful check can sometimes open the door to support you were not even looking for. The system will not always come to you automatically. In many cases, you have to ask. And the biggest mistake any pensioner can make is assuming they do not qualify without ever checking. Please do that check. Go to gov.uk. Speak to Citizens Advice, Age UK, or your local council. Keep any letters from DWP or HMRC safe. And if you are told you qualify for something, ask whether any backdating is possible. One small action today could make a real difference to your income for months and years to come. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to this channel and share it with someone you know who is on the state pension or receiving DWP support. They may be missing something important, and you could be the person who helps them find it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.